being here with you guys. Just want to introduce them, have to introduce themselves, and then how's the summer been going into now fall practice?
Yep, down here we have a rising senior running back linebacker Michael Smith, number 17. Right beside me we got number 18 rising junior Kadence Pruitt, and then to my right 0 Kendre Harrison and number 1 Dionte Neal. So far, summer as a young coach, I used to look forward to the 7-on-7s and that type of workouts in the summer. Now as a head coach, I'm more looking forward to the actual real football when you put on the pads and see what you got a little bit more. So it's our guys have been working extremely hard all the way back to winter workouts in the weight room through the spring and into the summer. So it's just kind of excited to see what they put together as we start the season this week.
Coach, as a quarterback, have you ever felt more protected than you do now?
Yes, four pretty good guys to be surrounded by.
Coach, I know a big season last year. I know maybe finished in the playoffs sooner than expected there. I mean, what has been the mindset? What has been the message for this team? As I know, Reidsville obviously has high expectations year in and year out.
Yeah, the expectations for us, is always to be the best team that we can be, whether that ends in a state championship or, wherever that ends up at. And last year we kind of felt like we fell short, regardless of where we lost, what round it was. We felt like we didn't truly meet the expectations of what we could be, meet our potential, so to say. So potential is a good thing to have, but eventually you gotta actually go out and execute to show what the type of team that you can be. So we're a little disappointed in that last year, and we're hoping to kind of turn the tables this year.
This is for Dionte and Kendre. Guys, after the playoff loss last year, I've spoken with both of you. You mentioned that was something that you didn't want to experience in basketball, and that was sort of one of the foundations that sort of established your mindset moving forward. Obviously, you accomplished that goal in basketball. How does that roll over to your senior year? And now, especially as leaders, to communicate that with the rest of your team on what the ultimate goal is this season?
Yeah, man. Well, so I feel like it's very unfortunate that we lost in the second round, but we all got to keep moving forward. Can't really live in the past. But, like me and Dionte said, we held the basketball team to a standard, and that was to, dominate the basketball season. And we just need to really carry over that mentality, that dog mentality. And our leadership is definitely going to be one of the biggest things in the success of our football team this year. So, yeah.
For you guys, and Michael too, it seems just like yesterday you guys were starting as freshmen. How fast has time gone by for you guys?
Man, it flew past. Aldrick Lee, who was a quarterback here, he told us once we get to high school that it's going to go by like this, and he didn't lie. I feel like last year, obviously didn't end how we wanted it to, so that kind of cut our junior season short. But coming into this year with a whole new mentality and mindset that every game, every play, we can go out there and fight our butts off.
I noticed, Coach, the tag in front of Dionte Neal, wide receiver / defensive back. I know last year he played a lot of quarterback for you. How would you describe the quarterback situation, and are we going to see Dionte Neal at quarterback this year?
Yeah, we have a rising sophomore. It was our JV quarterback last year, Braxton Johnson. He's been getting the majority of the reps this summer. Just as a freshman last year, everything was completely new, the playbook. Just developing physically as a freshman, that he had a lot of room to get stronger and faster, which he's worked really hard during the off season to develop there, and in both ways, learning the playbook and getting comfortable with the receivers and the playmakers he has around him. So we're definitely going to see what he has early on. We have 2 tough scrimmages, and then anybody who watched us play last year obviously saw what Dionte could do back there. So I would definitely say that he'll play a couple snaps back there. We'll have at least a package back there for him. We're also going to try to see what Brax can do, and that way we can move Dionte around the field a little bit.
Does that open up these 2 guys more defensively too a little bit?
Yeah, I think maybe the maddest I've ever seen Dionte is when we told him he wasn't going to go out there that first drive against Western Elements at DB, but then he pretty much played DB pretty much the whole year after that. So regardless of quarterback, receiver, punt return, kick return, whatever it is, he's going to be playing a lot of DB also.
Dionte, was it more pressure on you stepping into that QB role? I mean, it must have been a great situation stepping in with a guy like Al back there. A record breaker. He's going to be remembered at Reidsville forever, but you had to step kind of into those shoes in some respects. How did that differ from being in the slot position or a DB or a return man?
Yeah, like you said, stepping into Ali's shoes are big shoes to fill. So, I mean, I just came into every game thinking that just be myself, make the right play, make the correct plays, and just be a playmaker. And that's not different from slot, making plays, catching the ball, scoring touchdowns. But at quarterback, you got to get everybody else involved, and it's not just you catching and run. So, I mean, knowing what the offensive line does, knowing calls for the offensive line, stuff like that.
Okay, so you, when you're playing DN, you might be opposite of Kendre. Obviously, he takes a lot of attention. But then you see the dude with the long hair, he's going to make plays. You definitely made your statement last year coming out. Talk about what you're looking for this next year, kind of being like a go-to guy for a Reidsville Brand.
Oh, yeah. Very much looking forward to it, I've got a lot of trust in my D-line. Our nose tackle, Dionte Campbell, he's definitely a standout player. He'll definitely break out this year, I'm pretty thinking. Jacquez Hines, our D-tackle, he started last year, and he's been developing, busting his butt to get better in the offseason. And, obviously having Dre on there, it's great having two guys who obviously is probably going to be taller than your entire D-line or O-line. And, we're going to get back to you. And then quarterback, that's all you're going to see. Last thing you see.
Michael Kadence, looking down the line here, you got two of the biggest recruits in the country here that have been through the rigors and brought a lot of attention to Reidsville, both the gridiron as well as the hardwood. To see that these guys' hard work has paid off to get those Division I offers, has that inspired you fellas?
Of course, everyone who likes football wants to go to the next level. So I feel like seeing those two makes me want to try a little harder for myself to be better as a person and as a football player.
Very much in my first coming up freshman and sophomore year, Dre worked with me a lot. He helped me out on both sides, considering we played the same position on both sides of the ball. Anything with defensive end or defensive line, he would really just help me out, especially with the length, the frame. He coached me up on a lot with that, and actually really much helped out a lot last year. And especially on offensive side too, learning a lot from him, it really definitely helped.
Michael, how's it feel to be back after the injury last year, missing at a point where you wanted to be out there more than anything? How's that fueled you this offseason, and how's it feel to be healthy?
That was a big challenge for me to handle because I could have improved some stuff for my team because I know I give it my all every time when I was on that field last season. But this year, I know how to stay healthy now, so I know I'm really eager to finish what I've started from last season.
Coach, what would you say has changed the most about your philosophy since becoming the head coach?
Just in general, as a head coach, there's a lot of big picture stuff that you have to take care of as a quarterback coach, offensive coordinator. I can kind of just stay in my lane with the offense and not really worry about all the big picture stuff that's going on, but just making sure the team is prepared each and every week to go out there and play on Friday night and give our best, put our best product on the field. That comes from starts in the classroom in the off season to even be eligible to be at this point, and then to all that oversight, and then even to now, it's just a big thing I'm going to be relaying to these guys and our team tonight when we go practice is just that each and every day, whether it's the first day of practice or the senior night, homecoming game, first round of playoffs, whatever it is, that we're leaving everything out the field like it is our last game, because that last game is gonna be here before we know it. So it's just each and every practice, each and every game, giving everything we got.
Kendre, Dionte, have you guys put much thought into the fact that this is the last time you guys have been playing since you were kids? Last time you guys will be on the football field together, most likely.
Yeah, man, I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, when we lost in CP3, for CP3 this past weekend or whatever, it kind of hurt. It was like it's my last basketball game with my dog, with my best friend, man. So just knowing that I have to become a huge leader, you feel me, and go crazy and play good this year, just so we can win a ring and so I can win and go out with as a legendary guy with my best friend. You know, it's crazy. Yeah.
As a legacy for Reidsville, for you two guys, if you were to explain in one word, would winning be what you want your legacy to be?
Most definitely. Yeah, you said it perfectly. Winning.
Winning, legendary, great. Yeah, I mean.
Kendre, do you plan on playing basketball this year?
No sir, no sir. After football season, I'm done.
Nah, we gonna make something happen. I'm gonna talk to him.
Coach Teague, I mean, in terms of this team, I mean, what do you believe will be the biggest either challenge or question mark, and how do you go about addressing that to make sure your goals are met?
Yeah, so every year is a new year. Obviously, we got a lot of playmakers returning. There's a lot of high expectations, a lot of potential. All those good words that are nice to say, but we're going to find out very very early in the season, you know, what we got and where our holes are. We start off the season with 4 or 5 very tough games in a row, even leading into our first conference games against Walkertown, who's a very good team. So we're going to know what we got very quickly versus some bigger schools, Northern Guilford, GW Danville, Reagan High School, Eastern Guilford. So every team's different. You don't really know exactly how everything's going to gel and mesh together until you go out there and actually play a game. You know, scrimmages are good, but you kind of, it's not a true game scenario. You sub early, you kind of tinker with different things. But I would say after the Northern GW Reagan game, we're going to have a pretty good idea of what we got and what we need to work on.
I know you mentioned Braxton taking over as quarterback. I mean, what were the biggest signs? At what point did you feel comfortable, riding with him versus, sticking with Dionte on a full-time basis?
So with him, he's a guy that wants to do it. So anytime you got a guy who wants to be the guy, that's always a good sign, especially when you're playing the quarterback position. Sometimes it just happens to be, just the scenario that puts somebody in that spot, and they just have to do it because there's nobody else. But Braxton's a young guy. He wants to do it. He wants to get better. He's always asking questions. He wants to develop. He wants to go play at the next level. All those things, kind of as a coach, you see. And so, like I said, we're gonna see this preseason and into the scrimmages how he can do and what he's got.
Coach, is this a reload situation for wide receivers this year? We're missing a couple of big spots in Cam and J9 from last year, 2 great wide receivers. Reidsville's been known for putting great wideouts on the field. Who do you think will be stepping into other big roles? Obviously, Kendre is going to be there. Dionte's at the slot. He's a go-to guy as well. But who do you think can also step into those roles left vacant?
Yeah, last year, something that didn't really get a lot of attention was we had 2 guys really get hurt early on in the season. During the summer, Jordan Robinson got hurt. We were hoping that he was definitely going to be a varsity player, get a lot of experience. And then Richard Braithwaite got hurt with ankle injury before the season even started also. So we were hoping to get those 2 guys some experience last year as sophomores. So now they're rising juniors, definitely going to get some playing time. You also have Frankie Galloway, played a lot of receiver last year. He's a very fast receiver, so kind of a deep threat type guy, be playing X. And then Demarion Whittet is a slot type of receiver. Be playing some H, what we call our slot receiver, in Z. And then LaDon Hatfield, the rising senior, worked really hard, runs track, worked hard in the weight room. So a lot of different options that we can put in some different places around the field.
Coach, talk about, having your father, around, and helping you, or Coach Morris, all those years of experience that help you, as a head coach.
Yeah, especially this is my 3rd year as a head coach, so obviously a lot of learning experiences along the way. So definitely lean on those guys a lot. Anytime I have a question about, practice schedule, we have a holiday where we're out of school on Monday, all those practice type scenarios, just basically anything that comes up, it's nice to have those guys that I can go to and ask their opinion. And then, so yeah, it's been really big for me over the past 3 years because you don't really know what you don't know until you get in those scenarios. So it's been big for me for sure.
Kadence, what's the biggest difference you've seen in yourself since your freshman year?
A lot of it since freshman year was just putting on weight and gaining muscle. I pretty much lived in the weight room since freshman year. Mainly just bench press, squat, your core lifts, but really that's how it was. Freshman year, I had to develop. I had to watch the guys. That was the state championship year. So watching a lot of the guys and probably one of the best teams come through Reidsville, I mean, it really helped and kind of set a standard and an idea for what I need to become and what I need to get to. So basically off that year, did as much as I could to gain weight and get better at defensive end, watched a whole lot of film, and basically I just needed to develop myself and panned out into the sophomore year, and sophomore year went great. So I'm very proud of myself for putting in the work and getting done what I needed to get done that year.
Kadence, I know you mentioned a lot of growth in the weight room. I mean, what was your body like at that time as a freshman, and at this point now, what is kind of your height, weight, bench press max, squat max, that sort of thing?
Freshman year, I was came off a wrestling season, which is about when spring practice started, and I was wrestling 175 that year. I was 6'3", so I was pretty lengthy coming out, but I was pretty low on weight. So my whole focus that year was being a D lineman. You got to be tall and big. So basically, I had to gain weight from there. I got in the weight room as much as I can. Max I was getting up to was about 205 freshman year, and then coming off in that off season, pretty much all it was lifting. And so sophomore year, about the end of sophomore year, Coach Mars, our defensive coach, got us in the weight room, and really was a very big focus on getting stronger, because a lot of people was thinking Reidsville wasn't tough, which is crazy to me. But so a lot of the guys were getting in the weight room, getting stronger. Got up to about 320, 325 on bench, and now I'm at 6'4", 230 on body weight and height.
Lastly, Coach, and any of the guys will answer, what is something you want, a message you want to send out to the Rams fans that they expect so much, right? Y'all believe, I'm sure, that you can deliver. Just give a message to all the Rams fans out there.
I'll say something. To the Rams fans and everybody that's watching Reidsville football, this is going to be the best team and best season that you ever seen. So it's going to be exciting.
Thank you, guys.